Good morning and welcome to UU Wellesley Hills. Now please rise in body and or spirit as you are able and sing our opening hymn, number 20, Be Thou My Vision, number 20 in the gray hymnal. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to UU Wellesley Hills. I am the Reverend Mark Roble, the senior minister here. What is it with the snow on Sundays? I don't know. The snow gods and goddesses are trying to tell us something. But welcome. I'm so glad that you're all here. We are an open and affirming congregation here, which means it doesn't matter to us how you dress or what you look like. It doesn't matter whom you love. It doesn't matter if you're gay or you're straight or you're bi or you're transgender or you're any of the rainbow colors in between. It doesn't matter if you're married or single or divorced or it's complicated. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or a humanist or an atheist. What matters is that we gather here on Sunday together to support and to love each other. Here, our only creed is love, and our religious practice is love. So wherever you are on your own personal spiritual journey, however you name or know the holy or don't name and know the holy, we are thrilled that you're here with us today. So welcome to UU Wellesley Hills. Let's do that one more time. There was a slow pickup there. So welcome to UU Wellesley Hills. We are joyfully called to worship this morning. Now, if I can ask, is there anyone here for the first time? Raise your hand. I won't embarrass you. I just want to make sure I welcome anyone who might be new. Okay, and as we do every Sunday, let's turn towards our camera and wave to the folks in our online pew and welcome them. Now let's turn to each other and offer each other peace and goodwill. All right, so the pulpit mic is still not working correctly, so we have this funky setup here. I'm going to try this week, see if it works. So I have just a couple of announcements. We have the Black Lives Matter vigil today at noon. We'll meet in the courtyard and go out to Washington Street. Men's Breakfast Club tomorrow morning, 8:30 at Margus. A lot of fun, the Breakfast Club. And also, I wanted to mention on Sunday, March 15th, we're having a sort of volunteer fair. We're going to set up some tables in the parish hall. A lot of folks are asking, you know, what do you do? What can I get involved with? What kind of programs do you have? So we're going to have people from all the different, from Social Action Council, from the spiritual programs, sitting at the table. So if you have questions or you want to join or you want some more information, so that'll be the 15th.
And now, as we deepen into worship, I'd like to invite Reed to come forward to light our chalice. The flaming chalice is not only a shining symbol of our Unitarian Universalist commitment to religious pluralism and humanitarian principles, but also a much-needed light shining out into our world. We light it on the altar each Sunday and any time we gather as a community. And if you're watching from home and have a chalice on hand, you might like to light yours now. And the words for our chalice lighting are spoken in unison, and you'll find the words printed in your order of service or appearing on the screen. So please join me as Reed lights our chalice this morning. We light this chalice to illuminate our faithful way forward as an inspirational community of hope. Together, we seek spiritual growth, we strive for just and responsible action, we dedicate ourselves to leading lives of compassion and purpose. Thank you, Reed. And now is the time in our service when we have the time for all ages. And I do emphasize, again, as always, all ages. So anybody who wants to come forward and sit up here on the chancel steps, you're more than welcome. So please, yes, come join. Okay, too loud. And as usual, I have some props. It wouldn't be me telling a story if I didn't, right? I'm going to have to come up between you all a little bit, so maybe I can put this on this side here. I lost it. Yes, I lost a plant pot. Hang on. Oh, thank you. Thank you. There, if you would. Okay. Yes, so this is a story about a water carrier in India. And this water carrier had a bucket, 2 buckets, in fact, on a pole. And every day he would walk down to the well and collect the water from the well and then bring it back up the hill like this to the house. Now, there were 2 buckets. One was a perfect bucket, solid and complete, and no difficulty at all. The other bucket had a large crack in it. And when he went down to get the water, he would fill both buckets up, but the one with the crack leaked, and some of the water would drip out. So the perfect bucket was full of water, and the cracked bucket was usually about half full by the time he got to the top of the hill. Now this saddened the little cracked bucket. And the little cracked bucket felt a bit ashamed, a bit sorry for himself, and it didn't help that the perfect bucket was always, going on and on about how perfect he was, and how full of water he always was, and how much more useful he was, and how the poor little cracked bucket really wasn't much use at all. And I say, over the years, this saddened the little bucket so much that one day he said to the water carrier, "I'm useless. You should just get rid of me. I mean, why don't you go and find another perfect bucket? I'm no use to you at all." And the water carrier said, "What do you mean? Have you not been noticing? First of all, you carry plenty of water, certainly enough for me and my house. But have you really not noticed the beauty in this world?" Because you see, when they walked up the hill and the water was leaking out of the leaky bucket, it would fall on the ground. There were all these beautiful flowers all the way up the hill, on the side where the leaky bucket was. And the leaky bucket realized, yes, I am useful. I do have something to contribute. And maybe I need to be a bit more aware of the ordinary, everyday beauty in the world and how I can contribute to it. And that's our story. Thank you all. Sorry, we are obviously having problems with mics today.
Good morning. Each Sunday, this congregation collects a weekly offering as part of its larger spiritual practice of generosity. Our monthly plate collection theme for March is hunger, and today's collection will benefit the Greater Boston Food Bank. Now, the goal of the Greater Boston Food Bank is to distribute enough food to provide 3 meals a day to every food-insecure individual in eastern Massachusetts, and there are, sadly, a lot of them. 1 in 3 households reports not having enough money to buy food each month, with winter being particularly hard on seniors who struggle to heat their homes, purchase medications, and still buy the groceries they need to stay healthy. The food bank directly distributes food to soup kitchens, senior centers, and food pantries. Their highly efficient model for securing and distributing food makes it possible for them to provide 2 healthy meals for every $3 donated. That is an impressive return on the dollars we here at UU Wellesley Hills can contribute. Your donation can be made either electronically or by the collection plate that will soon be passed. If you want to make an online payment, please visit the online giving page on our website, and once there, be sure that plate collection is selected from the drop-down menu. If you write a check, please remember to put the Greater Boston Food Bank on the memo line. Please give generously to help make certain that our fellow Massachusetts residents don't go to bed hungry tonight. Again, I repeat, $3 provides for 2 healthy meals. How many meals will you provide today?
Thank you. We open our circle of care and concern this morning with these words from Reverend Scott Taylor. Let us turn inwards in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Sometimes the world outside us can be so loud, making it hard to hear those voices we once knew so well. Voices that once knew us so well. And so to silence we turn, to listen for the echoes of memories that make us whole, the pain of others that reawakens our hearts, and the beauty of this wildly generous world that wants us back. This is the attention that saves us, heals us, opens us, expands us. So friends, in the stillness of this space, let us not just listen for clarity and guidance, but to become larger. Those voices whispering from deep within are not just calling us home, they are home. We must remember this. What we give our attention to is what we become. Yes, sometimes the world outside us can be so loud, leaving us lost. But the quiet always returns, waiting and willing to be our companion, gently calling us to shift our attention and to reclaim ourselves. Now I'd like to take a moment to reflect on these words in silence. And may it be so. I'd like to invite all who wish to come forward and light a candle of intention. And if you're comfortable, please let us know what person or place this intention is for, and we will carry them in our hearts. Those in our online pews, please type your joy or concern in the comment section, and we will also carry your intention in our hearts. So please come down the center aisle, light a candle, and return by the side aisle. So let us begin.
This is for our friend and neighbor, Eileen, who's dealing with some health issues.
This candle is unexpectedly lit for a young man I met this morning named Dahir, who was my Lyft driver so that I could be amongst you with a dead car in the driveway, and I'm trusting that Peter will drive me home.
It's for my cousin David, who had a sad diagnosis, as well as I'm hoping that I will pay attention to the right things.
This prayer is for one of our neighbors and friends who will be moving this Thursday to a memory care unit. His family, all the kids are joining now to help his wife and him in this important transition.
This is in celebration of a 25-year friendship with the Floyds, who are here today, and Dick and Bob sang 20 years together in Sangerfest, so I'm glad to see you.
This is for my friend Deepa, who lives in Doha and has been hearing the missiles flying overnight and the shrapnel coming down, and for my thoughts of the people of Iran.
This candle is for my Aunt Catherine, who's recently in the hospital, so wishing her a speedy recovery.
This is thoughts for all of the people of Iran, the UAE, Bahrain, and every other place that bombs dropped yesterday and probably today.
We honor all of these intentions in this community, but along with these, we know are certain joys and sorrow that remain private this morning. Those too have a rightful place here. So this morning we honor all of these with light. Sheila was kind enough to light our center candle for all of our families, for our beloveds, for our friends, for all of our relations, for those who are near and for those for whom we feel an unwanted distance, for the newborn, for the elderly, for all the wounded children. May this candle inspire us to use our power to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse. May its radiance pour out upon our hearts and spread light into the darkest corners of our world. Now please join in singing Comfort Me, number 1002 in your teal hymnal, and we will sing the first verse, number 1002.
Our reading today is How Were You Loved by Melissa Jata, who's a fellow candidate for UU ministry. And she starts with this quote from Dr. Gabor Mate. Whether we realize it or not, it is our woundedness, or how we cope with it, that dictates much of our behavior, shapes our social habits, and informs our ways of thinking about the world. And she continues, when I'm working in the community, I often see adults who are struggling with housing, with familial relationships, with money, and with just being. Everyone wants to tell their story. I listen as much as I can, whether it's disheveled people with holes in their pants, people dressed to the nines. All classes of people have suffered and are still suffering from a lack of love. As I listen to their stories, I think, who loved you? And what happened to you? Who is loving you now? There's little difference between me and the people I try to serve. I too need to be seen, to tell my story, to be listened to in confidence, the kind of confidence where two human beings connect in passing and understanding happens. Sometimes it's a head nod of acknowledgement to the dark-skinned black man with thick glasses, or the smile to the older white woman with the walker. These gestures acknowledge our imperfection and the fact that loving oneself is hard in the face of relationship ruptures and fragmentations, because we're more busy protecting ourselves first than connecting. Chronic neglect, abuse, domestic violence, bullying, and the very rigid definitions of being in the world have fed our distrust, encouraging us to expect scarcity, cruelty, and loneliness. Building community in the public requires a heart-centered approach, with a mind that is as still as water, so I can reflect the needs of another and appeal towards sustainable possibilities. It includes protecting myself and the people with whom I'm engaged, even as it requires vulnerability. It also includes a calm, centered conviction that I am also someone who is of love, worthy of love, and loving. This kind of self-compassion is a power that can be cultivated. The public is full of people, yet that does not automatically make a community. Relationships of trust and the ability to rest and be in full safety are also necessary. Building relationships requires the risk of being open and curious. Sometimes it requires affirming another person for who they say they are and not who you want them to be. It requires time, presence, and calm. And she closes with this prayer. Spirit of life and love, let there be safe havens where we can feel at ease, where there is nothing to be done but rest our weariness. Let love be the sweetness that embraces us in the here and right now. Amen.
Thank you, choir. Many years ago, when Tom, Mark, and I lived in Vermont, there was a small ice cream stand on an open rural corner heading into the next town. So going to the grocery store was not a matter of getting in your car and driving a couple of miles. It was an ordeal. So often, especially in the summer, we would stop for some of the best soft ice cream around. Creamy and delicious, with those chocolate and cherry dips. You know, you dip the ice cream cone in and it formed a hard crust. On one particular day, we stopped at the stand and Mark had a Nantucket Nectar glass bottle in his hand. He was young. He couldn't have been more than 7 or 8. And he was swinging that glass bottle back and forth and back and forth. And at some point, the bottle slipped out of his hand, flew through the air, and crashed into 1,000 glass pieces in the parking lot. Tom and I looked at each other a bit surprised, and without missing a beat, and in all seriousness, Mark said, "That wasn't me. I didn't do that." And I've been thinking about that story a lot lately in preparation for this sermon, but also there seems to be a lot of that going around these days, especially in our government. Don't believe what your eyes are telling you, believe what I am telling you. At a very early age, Mark learned that lesson. Let me try to gaslight you. I'll throw it up against the wall and see if it sticks. But I can assure you that did not stick. The other reason I've been thinking about this story has been to reflect on what it really means to see someone. What does it mean to be fully present to another person, to validate their existence, and let them know that they matter? Morgan Day Cecile, a feminist embodiment coach, writes in her poem, "Just be here with me." Just be here with me. Signed, the moon, the stars, your still hot cup of coffee, your daughter, your son, your spouse, your heart, the green grass, the wildflowers, the water you long to swim in, the color yellow, the color blue, your favorite poem, your favorite blanket, the wind in your hair, the waves on the ocean, the mountain air, your dad, your mom, the rain, the ice cream cone, the butter sizzling with garlic in the frying pan, the grocery clerk with sad, kind eyes, postcards waiting to be sent, the city squirrel, the country squirrel, Jupiter, the photo album, your grandmother's rosary, your favorite song, ink and paper, your best friend, the money in your wallet, the fork in your hand, brushes and paint, downward-facing dog, the color turquoise, the almost invisible shade of pink, God, the skyline, the earth beneath your feet, a hammock, the shade of a giant tree. This moment, right here, now, your bones, your belly laugh, your breath, your breath, your breath. Sometimes it feels as if our lives have become this cacophony of noise and sound, of screens and keyboards, of Zoom meetings and soccer practice. We certainly don't need to carpe diem the heck out of every single moment of every single day, but we do need to remember and be thankful for those moments and days when we are able to pay attention to the blessings around us. Those are our holy moments. Those are the goosebumps or lump in your throat moments. Early Unitarians placed great value on the presence of the divine or the presence of the holy as a guiding force in our universe. Sermons and essays from figures like Channing and Emerson invited people to find the divine in the order of the universe, in the moral intuition, and in acts of justice and compassion, rather than only in special revelations and sacraments. This theology turns everyday perception into a spiritual task, paying attention to beauty, truth, and goodness as places where the sacred shows up. In our contemporary UU practice, this lives on in services that celebrate science, poetry, and ordinary kindness become our text through which the holy is encountered. Our shared value of pluralism tells us that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. And we promise to support and encourage each other on our own quest for what is sacred in each of us. And that takes work. That takes being present. That takes truly seeing someone. A few weeks ago, I headed down to New Jersey for a celebration of life for a very dear friend of my family. We lived across the street from each other growing up. They had 4 kids, we had 4 kids. We were all approximately the same age. Our families have been friends for over 60 years, true lifetime of memories together friends. One of their daughters was diagnosed with cervical cancer about 2 months ago, was going through chemotherapy, developed an infection, and passed away. It was very sudden and very unexpected. This daughter, and I'll call her Pat, was a complicated person with a multi-layered life. She was tough and edgy, passionate and blunt. I wouldn't say a difficult person, but certainly sometimes a tough person to love. She was also fun and funny, joyful, goofy, and had a laugh that would knock your socks off. The celebration was at a local restaurant, one of Pat's favorite watering holes. The family had asked me to say a couple of words, perhaps a prayer, and open the floor up to anyone who wanted to share a memory or a story. The restaurant was packed with family, friends, and colleagues. The stories that emerged, the laughter, the tears, the truly heartfelt connection that went through that room was goosebumpy and throat lumpy. It was so evident to me that Pat was seen and loved. With all of her thorns and prickers, I thought to myself, we should all be so lucky. Paying attention to the beauty in the world and seeing our own beauty is the greatest gift that we can give each other, and the greatest gift we can give back to the universe. As the choir sang earlier, it is the love that will not let us go. So as we're all swinging our Nantucket nectar juice bottles through the air, and we accidentally let go and it crashes into 1,000 pieces of glass, my hope is that your people will say, oh geez, what an accident. Here, let me help you clean that up. That we pay attention to the people and beauty around us. That we remember who we are as Unitarian Universalists, and we commit ourselves to just sitting with each other and seeing each other. That we are able to, at least occasionally, scrape away some of the noise and buzzing and the distractions and glimpse the holy in whatever form that is. Annie Dillard writes, we are here to abet creation and to witness it, to notice each thing so each thing gets noticed. Together, we will notice not only each mountain shadow and each stone on the beach, but we notice each other's beautiful face and complex nature so that creation need not play to an empty house. May our lives be a testament to seeing each other clearly and with love. And when the time comes, may we be remembered as beautiful creations of the universe. And may we make it so. Now please rise in body and or spirit as you're able as we sing our closing hymn, Blue Boat Home, number 1064 in the Teal Hymnal, number 1064.
Is concluding this morning, I'd invite Reed back up to extinguish our chalice. And our closing words are spoken in unison. You'll find them again printed in your order of service or appearing on the screen. Extinguishing this flame which has burned bright in our midst, we revere what has been kindled within each one of us. Warmth in community, the light of truth, a perpetual spark of hope. Thank you, Reed.
As you leave this space made sacred by our presence, may you practice the art of truly noticing yourself with honesty, others with compassion, the world with clear eyes. Remember that attention is love made deliberate. So go with courage to look closely, to stay present, to let what you witness reshape you as well as the world. Our service has ended. Go in peace and return again with great joy. you.